right now we are looking at potential tropical cyclone 2, but before we get into the main part of the video, I really do ask you guys to subscribe. It will help me out a ton on making these videos every day. Let's go and get into it. Now we are looking at potential tropical cyclone 2 here, and we are seeing that it has gotten a little bit more rotation, but there is a good bit less of convection. We can see a little bit of convection sprouting up over here and over here. This could start to wrap around the system's center there as it starts to move over Trinidad and Tobago, and maybe Barbados could be getting some rain. So we can see, again, NHC does expect this system to become a hurricane, as we are seeing, and a good bit of models again do expect it to become a hurricane, and these models don't really expect it to be, but all of these do. So there are a good bit more models expecting it to become a hurricane than a lot of models that are not. So let's go ahead and move on to the aircraft recon here, or just recon, and we can see there is a problem with the aircraft, so they started heading back towards the U.S., but we can see we were getting some tropical storm force winds flight level. We'll see if it gets upgraded, but I don't think it really does look like organized enough to be a tropical storm. So we'll just have to see. This was earlier, and we could see the system looked a little bit better earlier, so we'll see. Right now it doesn't look too amazing. This is IRL satellite. Let's go and play it. You can see it blew up some convection, and it looked actually pretty good with that outflow. But right now, I mean, yes, there's definitely a good bit of rotation, but I do feel like there is a bit going on with the system as of dry air, a little bit of dry air. The Saharan dust. This is what we are seeing this time of season. So we definitely could see Saharan dust really affect the system. And also it depends on if it has a bunch of land interaction with Colombia and South America overall. So we'll see what happens with that. Trinidad and Tobago is getting a good bit of rain here. Pretty heavy rain, maybe even getting up to tropical storm force winds. But you can definitely see that rotation in there. You can see it. The clouds are definitely rotating. So we'll see what happens with that convection that starts to wrap around like that. So we are seeing that it could start wrapping around some convection, so we'll see. But definitely there is a good bit of dry air. And let's go and look at the ECMWF model here. And, well, we are seeing they aren't really too big on the system, mainly because the ECMWF, or the European model, is having it interact with South America a lot right there, and basically depleting it from not even a low pressure system it is expecting. So we'll see what happens with that. At landfall, it really isn't great. But the thing that is interesting about the ECMWF model is because, well, they're saying it could strengthen a good bit in the Eastern Pacific. And some of you guys may be asking, well, if it's in the Eastern Pacific, why should it have Eastern Pacific name or Atlantic name? And as long as it doesn't fully, the low level circulation doesn't fully deplete, it will still be called Bonnie in the Eastern Pacific. And I mean, look at this, 964 millibars for the ECMWF in the Pacific. So we'll see what happens to that. Not going to be affecting any type of land in the Eastern Pacific. So that will be interesting. We'll see if that happens. And also we have another Invest 95L, and this is potential tropical cyclone. So we'll see what happens with we'll see what happens with 95L. 95L, I really don't expect to become not really much of a threat. Maybe a little bit of rain towards Texas, maybe slight storm surge, but I don't expect this system to really form at all to become a named storm. Let's go and look at potential tropical cyclone 2 here, and, well, we are seeing that the low pressure system is going over Trinidad and Tobago on the ECMWF model, slightly missing it maybe, but most likely going towards the north side of Trinidad and Tobago, northeast side. So we'll see. The reason why the HRF has it developing a lot more than ECMWF is because it really has it going a little bit farther north than the ECMWF, causing it to not interact as much with land. So again, these waters are really warm around here, so water temperatures won't be a problem. Even though it's slightly below normal, we are still seeing a landfall at 979 millibars. So this still could definitely be a problem. We can definitely see that eye wall there and it pulling in moisture from there, and a huge shrimp-like tail there coming in and pulling in moisture that way. This area is much more favorable for the system, so we'll see what happens with that. Now we are looking at the HMON here, and the HMON definitely has it all over the place here because it really loses its rotation there for a minute, as it really impacts South America there pretty badly. So it basically starts over again on the HMON, but it still has it at 985, maybe even 984 at landfall. So we'll see what happens with the HMON. From the HMON side, I feel like this is definitely a little bit more symmetrical than the HWARF, so we'll see what happens with that. Let's go ahead and look at Invest 95L. Again, I don't find a big threat in. Really, just the conditions. Even though the water temperature is warm, shear could be absolutely destroying the system, and dry air. I really don't expect this system to form. By all means, it wasn't a bad call by NHC, but I really don't expect it to. Maybe a depression at most. Let's go ahead and look at the sea surface relative to average and sea surface temperature. 7-day change. Sorry, guys, 7-day change. And we are looking at still a good bit of warming in the MDR here. This is around the area we are seeing some warmth. So we'll see maybe some neutral in the MDR. We are seeing a little bit of cooling in some areas. But as of right now, this system will be heading over around normal waters, maybe even getting into cooler waters than average. But again, it's still going to be very warm for tropical development. Let's go and look at it compared to average, and practically this whole place is above average, right? Here that place is practically fully above average. Maybe this we can cut off there because it's a little bit less, but La Nina, sorry, could be starting to fade away, as we are seeing the Gulf again is definitely above average, especially getting close to the state of Louisiana there. So we could see this is around the area we are seeing of warmer waters. Right here, there's a good bit of warmer waters. But Nino 3.4 index here, we are seeing again warming waters. We could see it dip down, but I feel like it could be a neutral this season. So that won't make the hurricane season any less active. It is still going to be an extremely active hurricane season. Right now, the MJO is in a 3, so that is pretty interesting. We could see maybe some more tropical waves. It's going to be in 3 for a while, so we'll see what happens. It will be coming back around, so we'll see what happens. And let's go ahead and look at the upper ocean heat content, or the isotherm, how far the isotherm goes. So right now we are seeing again a lot more orange, and where the potential tropical cyclone 2 is heading, I really don't find the upper ocean heat content impressive. It's pretty low. It will definitely sustain the system, category 1, maybe even category 2, but say it tracked over here, man, it would have an abundance of upper ocean heat content. This is pretty high there. We are starting to get some reds near Cuba, and in the Gulf, again, we are at the top of the scale here, 175, so yeah. But that'll be it for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.